In the corridors of power, there's a hidden language, an ancient code that governs the rise and fall of empires, of careers, of fortunes, and we are about to decipher that code.
Some people believe power is a gift, something bestowed by fate. They're wrong. Power is a science, it's a tool, it's an art form, and it must be seized.
The battlefield might change from sand and steel to glass and chrome, but the rules of strategy, influence, and domination, they are eternal. Your journey to mastery begins now.
Your first move isn't an attack. No, it's about becoming invisible, a ghost in the machine. You have to learn to see everything while being seen by no one. This is the foundation upon which all dynasties are built.
First, you master the laws of stealth. Law 1, never ever outshine the master. Make those above you feel superior. Their ego is fragile, and threatening it is a fatal mistake. Law 3, conceal your intentions. Keep people off balance, in the dark. They can't prepare for a move they don't see coming. And Law 4, always say less than necessary. The more you talk, the more common you sound. Silence. That's intimidating. That signals control.
Your foundation is built on perception and action. Law 2 teaches a hard lesson. Friends will betray you more quickly out of envy. A former enemy, though, they have more to prove. They make a more loyal soldier. Law 5 is your shield. Your reputation is the cornerstone of your power. Guard it with your life. With it, you can win before a battle is even fought. And always remember, Law 9, win through your actions, never through argument. A demonstration of power is always more convincing than any words you could ever speak.
The apprentice phase ends when you master intelligence and independence. Law 14, pose as a friend, work as a spy. Knowledge is power, and you'd be amazed what you can learn in a polite conversation. Law 18 is a warning. A fortress becomes a prison. Isolation cuts you off from information and makes you an easy target. Finally, Law 20, do not commit to anyone. By staying independent, you become the master of others. They will all compete for your favor.
So your foundation is secure. You've been the observer, now you become the actor. This is the art of social warfare. You're about to learn how to shape reality itself, to direct the play while everyone else thinks they're choosing their own moves.
To control the stage, you have to master the spotlight. Law 6, court attention at all costs. It is far better to be attacked and slandered than to be ignored. Law 7, get others to do the work, but you always take the credit. Use their wisdom, their labor, to advance your own cause. And Law 11, keep people dependent on you. Because if they can't function without you, you hold the keys to their entire world.
The tools of the strategist are psychological. Law 12, a single act of honesty can mask a dozen dishonest ones. Law 13, you have to understand that everyone, even the most powerful, acts out of self-interest. Appeal to that, and you can ask for the world. And Law 17, cultivate an air of unpredictability. Humans are creatures of habit. If they can't predict what you'll do next, they live in a constant state of defensive fear.
Now for the finer arts of manipulation. Law 26, keep your hands clean. You use others as scapegoats, as pawns, to conceal your own involvement. Law 27, people have an overwhelming desire to believe in something. If you become the focus of that desire, your followers will grant you untold power. And finally, Law 33, discover each man's thumbscrew. Everyone has a weakness, a secret insecurity. Find it, and you hold the key to their will.
The time for subtlety is over. The board is set. Now, you strike. The warlord acts with controlled ferocity, crushing all opposition and forging a reputation of unassailable strength.
The warlord's first moves are about purification and finality. Law 10, avoid the unhappy and unlucky. Misery is as infectious as any disease. Law 15, crush your enemy totally. If you leave a single ember glowing, it will eventually burn you to the ground. No half measures. Law 16 teaches that if you're always available, you become common. Withdraw. Your absence will create value, respect, and honor.
A total victory prevents a longer, more painful conflict. By eliminating all hope for your enemy, you stop them from wasting their life and yours in a futile struggle. So you tell me, is this cruelty or is it mercy?
But aggression must be intelligent. Law 19, know who you're dealing with. Some people, if you wrong them, will hunt you for the rest of their lives. Choose your enemies wisely. Law 28. Enter action with boldness. Any doubt you have will show in your execution. Hesitation is a signal of fear. And Law 29. Plan all the way to the end. The ending is everything. Consider all consequences and you will not be ruled by circumstance.
The warlord knows power isn't always about brute force. Law 22. Use the surrender tactic. When you're weaker, don't fight for honor. Surrender. It gives you time to recover, to wait for your opponent's power to fade. Law 31. Control the options. Guide your opponents to a choice that benefits you, all while making them think they have free will. And Law 42. Strike the shepherd, and the sheep will scatter. Trouble can almost always be traced to a single source. Neutralize their influence, and you neutralize the entire group.
To seize power is one thing. To hold it is another game entirely. The final stage of mastery is the sovereign, who rules not through force, but with a presence and adaptability that seems almost divine.
The sovereign's mindset is everything. Law 24. Play the perfect courtier. Master the art of indirection, flattery, and strategic deference. Law 34. Be royal in your own fashion. The way you carry yourself will determine how you're treated. Act like a king to be treated like one. And Law 36. Disdain things you cannot have. By acknowledging a petty problem, you give it power. To ignore it shows you are above it. It's the best revenge.
Longevity and power requires nuance. Law 45. Preach change but move slowly. Humans crave the familiar. Too much innovation is traumatic for them. Law 46. Never appear too perfect. It's dangerous to seem like you have no faults. Showing trivial defects makes you appear more human, less of a threat. And finally, Law 47. Know when to stop. The moment of victory is often the moment of greatest peril. Don't let success push you into arrogance and past your goal.
All of this leads to the ultimate law. Assume formlessness. Power is fluid. You must be like water. By taking no fixed shape, you present no target. You can adapt to any opponent, any circumstance. You become untouchable.
These laws, they aren't a moral compass. They're a map. They describe the world as it is, not as we wish it would be. You can choose not to play the game of power, but you cannot escape it.
To be ignorant of these rules is to be a pawn in someone else's strategy. This knowledge is your only shield, your only weapon.
Will you be the architect of your own life, or will you let others dictate its terms? Will you be the master or the subject?
You have been shown the timeless strategies of Robert Greene's masterwork.
The game is set. The pieces are moving. Now, go and make your move.